Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be covering the story of Lindsay Clancy. I wasn't going to do this story, but I feel like there's some awareness that could be brought to the table from it all, and I'm going to try to get through it without crying. And I may have to speed the video up so that I can fit it all in here. I'm not sure. We'll see after I cut it. Now, Lindsay Clancy is a 32-year-old labor and delivery nurse from Massachusetts. Well, she's not. She's from Connecticut, but lives in Massachusetts. She had 3 beautiful children and a husband, and everyone who knows her said she was absolutely just a joy to be around, and that she loved her children with all of her heart, and her husband says the same, that she was just a good person all the way around. Lindsay's kids were 5 years old, 3 years old, and 8 months old. And before this horrific event happened, Lindsay started suffering with postpartum issues. She noticed she wasn't connecting with her kids like she should, and she just knew that something was bad off. She talked to her husband about it, and he actually started working from home so that she could go to an outside clinic to get the help that she needed 5 days a week. And from then on, Lindsay started saying that she felt better, she didn't feel any suicide tendencies, and things were getting better for her. Now, this may be a rumor. It hasn't been vetted yet by a good source, so I'm just going to put that out there. But I've heard 2 different times that Lindsay wanted to be full-time inpatient for this postpartum issue, and she was denied because of insurance. Now, I'm not sure if that's correct or not. On January 24th, it was said that Lindsay seemed just fine. Her husband even stated that it seemed that she was having one of her best days yet. At 4:02, Lindsay Googled how far it would take to get from her house to, I believe, a Walgreens or a pharmacy for some medication that her children needed. And then she also Googled how far from her home it was to the 3V place that they were going to eat for takeout. At 4:53, Lindsay texted her husband, who was in his office working at the home, and I believe that was in the basement, and asked if he minded getting takeout tonight. And she mentioned the 3V place, and he said that was a little bit of an odd request since it's across town. But anyway, he decided it'd be a good idea. And now, remember, or I didn't mention it, but the doctors had said that Lindsay didn't need to be alone by herself or alone with the children. So the husband was a little on the fence about this anyways, but Lindsay seemed fine, and he was just running down the road to get medicine and takeout. At 5:15, Lindsay's husband left. He went to go get the takeout and the medicine for the kids. He arrived back home approximately 25 minutes later. After arriving home, he went inside, yelled for anybody. No one answered. He went up to the 2nd floor to his and Lindsay's bedroom, and the door was locked. So he found his way in one way or another, and the window was wide open, and he had seen blood on the floor. And at that point, he rushed back downstairs, ran outside, and there Lindsay was laying on the ground. Had blood on her, had cuts on her wrist and her neck, and he was already on the phone with 911 anyways. Her husband said, "What did you do?" And Lindsay stated, "I tried to kill myself." Then Patrick, her husband, stated, "Where are the kids?" And all she said was basement. Patrick rushed down to the basement to find his 3 children's lifeless bodies laying face down on the floor. The 5 and 3-year-old were pronounced dead on the scene, but the baby was later pronounced dead at the hospital. Lindsay had strangled all 3 of them with exercise bands, and they were still laced around their neck. Since all of this has taken place, Lindsay's husband has been on the news. Good Morning America, and y'all, it has broke my heart. He is asking for everybody to forgive Lindsay, and for everybody to realize what a good person she really was, and that was not Lindsay that day, and that she loved her kids more than anything on this planet. And that's a big statement. All 3 of his babies are gone, and he is asking for the world to stop talking hateful about Lindsay. Anyone who's dealt with postpartum depression knows how serious it can be. So I myself have never dealt with psychosis, which is rare, but I did deal with postpartum depression, and it is a serious thing. So the psychosis thing, I've looked into it, and apparently it's real and rarely does happen But the prosecutors are saying, no, this was well thought out and this was well planned. She called the restaurant to see if her husband had picked up the food yet, tracking his every moments. I really don't know how to feel. I have so many feelings. I have broken-hearted feelings, mad feelings. I have a very, very mixed opinion on this case. I pray for his family, pray for her too. And, you know, she's paralyzed now from the waist down, and she's facing the murder of all 3 of her children and other charges as well. What are y'all's opinions? I'm open up for discussion. I want to know what you guys think. Just please be kind to each other. And I will add this, that if anybody is ever considering suicide, please call the suicide hotline number. You are important and you are loved.
The arraignment, Mr. Clark.
Ms. Clancy, on docket 2359 CR 153, the court has a complaint charging you under 265 section 1, count 1 murder, juvenile 1, count 2, 265 section 1 murder, juvenile 2, count 3, 265 15D big A, strangulation or suffocation, juvenile 1, count 4, 265 15D big A, strangulation, suffocation, juvenile 2, count 5, 265 15D big A, strangulation or suffocation, juvenile 3, count 6, 265 15A big A, assault and battery, dangerous weapon, 2-wit exercise rope, juvenile 1, count 7, assault and battery, 265 15A with a dangerous weapon, 2-wit exercise rope, juvenile 2, and count 8, 265 15A, assault and battery, dangerous weapon, exercise rope, 2-wit juvenile 3. Man, a plea of not guilty will be entered. Please be advised, while this case is pending, any violation of state, federal, or local law may result in your bail being revoked and be held without bail.